And so I think the idea that you want to get there fast is fine. It's just having a realistic expectation of how many skills you need to acquire to get there. Because I think we'll have continuously younger and younger and younger millionaires and billionaires that are going to continue to happen, because now a viral idea, I mean, Taylor Swift was 16 when she started recording music. That was a long time ago, right? She's 33 now. I think that the level of competition will continue to rise. I think young people are more tech savvy, and so will in general have a continuously improving competitive advantage over older people, because the rate of technological change hastens, goes faster. And so the advantage of being young versus old is actually, I think, going to continue to expand, because tech moves so fast now that I think there will be more. If you were somebody who continues to hop from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing and you can't stick with it.
You're officially ready to start your dropshipping journey.
How to start a social media marketing agency.
It's usually because you don't have the skill of sticking with something. You haven't been rewarded enough in the past for staying with something, or you haven't been burned enough from starting over. Like on your 5th time of starting yet another thing and not getting deep enough on it, you have to think to yourself, maybe this isn't the right way to do it. There's 5 stages as I see it as somebody goes through the entrepreneurial journey when they're starting out. In the beginning, you've got the midline, right, where they start. Step 1 is they go above the midline, and they go to uninformed optimism. They see the grass on the other side, it looks greener, and they're like, my buddy's doing drop shipping and he's making all this money,
right.
And that's gonna be me. And then they buy the course, they start watching videos, they try to connect things break, they buy some inventory, they don't know how much to buy, and all of a sudden they go to the point 2, which is now below the line, which is informed pessimism.
This is hard.
Yeah, they find out all the things that they didn't know in the beginning. They paid down some ignorance debt, but there's still more to pay. So they keep going because they're like, I gotta figure this out. And then they go to point 3, which is the valley of despair, right? Which is where they're like, this isn't gonna work. This is never gonna work. And one of the hardest costs, and this is like what entrepreneurship feels like, if I can give it to anyone who's new to this, is the feeling of uncertainty that you don't know if all of the work that you've been spending all of your nights and weekends and off time investing in will ever pay off. And so it's this fear that you're wasting your time. But the reality is that the outcome isn't the thing that you're building. The person you are is the person that you're building, and that continues to work. And so it's about who we become while doing the work more than the outcome from the work itself. Because like I lost everything 5 years into my entrepreneurial journey, but I still had all the skills and beliefs that I had from before that. And then I was able to reapply those and then have a really, big outcome in what we have today. And so I remember when I lost everything that first time, I thought, did I just lose 5 years of my life? Like I just moved back, I'm at ground zero again. But I wasn't, because I had all these skills that I had learned, owning and scaling 6 gyms at that point. So now you do have a lay of the land. You understand that there's some skeletons. You do have to understand how you manage some inventory. You got to get ahead of some of the stuff, but you learn how to forecast. You can know that weekends you tend to do better and weekdays you tend to do less. And so you can dial back support on those days and dial it up on the other days. You start to recognize patterns. And so you start to know what you're doing, right? You're paying down all the ignorance debt. And then finally, step 5 is you achieve whatever the original goal was. But the problem is that most people go step 1, 2, 3, and then they jump back to step 1.
With something new.
Right. The grass is greener on the other side, but what they don't know is that it's still fertilized with manure. There's still on the other side too. And so there's always everywhere.
Let me get into real estate now. Let me get into this.
Right. I'm going to do wholesaling and day trading. Right. Of course, there's all these, quick make money things. But if you look at the people who are making the most money in it, they spent usually a significant amount of time